Greetings friends, welcome back to Shakes and Fidget, and today we're going to have a look at a certain aspect of PvP in Shakes and Fidget, which is guild fight strength. And this list is going to look very different from the casual or classic PvP tier list. We are going to be ranking all the classes, and I'm gonna tell you why I think it's this way. Alright guys, let's not lose any time. Let's start with the Battle Mage, and the Battle Mage is going to go in S tier. Because in guild fights, guys, against each opponent, except for mages, he is going to be able to throw his meter. When a new enemy comes into battle, he is just going to do like boom, and then you take the damage like guaranteed, which is very, very solid. Plus, we have the class bonus, which of course helps guilds in the early game and mid game especially, and also in the late game in guild fights, which just makes the Battle Mage very good for guild battles. The next class is the Berserker, and he also goes into S tier because the ability to rage in guild fights is really valuable, and the amount of hits that you're exchanging in a guild fight pretty much guarantees that you will be raging and you will deal a shit ton of damage, which is why I think the Berserker is also very, very valuable in guild fights. Next up we have the Necro, and the Necro is kinda solid. He tanks every hit except for the 25% chance if you spawn the Golem. But I think, well, yeah, you can summon the Hound and you can just one-hit a very strong enemy. So, and also, because guild fights are never really balanced against like who you are battling, you have big potential to just one-shot someone that is way stronger than you, right? And that's why I think the Necro is pretty valuable in guild fights. Well, if you're the stronger player and you could just lose against someone who's weaker because they keep dodging and you just tank every hit. But I think it still goes into A tier because you have that great potential to just, you know, out damage someone that is usually stronger than you, which is quite valuable in guild fights. Next up, we have the Bard, and I think the Bard goes into B tier. Because the Bard has the problem of having very low HP, you take a shit ton of damage, you have to tank every class ability from your opponents, you have to tank the Rage from Berserker, Scouts and Assassins and stuff, they can block and dodge you, the Demon Hunter can revive against you, the Paladin can heal, and yes, you can deal some damage with crits, but having to depend on crits that can be dodged and blocked in guild fights, really, it's not that good, right? Contrary to that, we have the next candidate, and that is the Mage. And in my opinion, the Mage is also an S tier guild fight character, just because of the reason that he stops everything. He stops the meteor, he stops rage, he makes it impossible for paladins to heal, and he makes it impossible for demon hunters to revive if you battle against them, if you do the last hit, which I think is insane, right? It's so crazy. The only downside is that if you are stronger than your enemies, like way stronger, you have like the strongest character, then you will still take chip damage every time because you will tank a hit. But that's the only downside. But I think it's probably between the Battle Mage and the Berserker. Maybe it's even the best character so far that we have in this list here. Let's just keep him in between, but these are interchangeable. Let's get to the Warrior, and I think the Warrior is going into B tier as well. Also quite interchangeably with the Bard. Yes, you've got lots of HP, you have like this 25% block chance. It's kind of okay. I think he's one of the standard classes, and he goes, there isn't much to him that changes his ranking in the guild fight tier list compared to the PvP tier list, because, well, you only have that one feature, right? And the same also goes for the Scout, but he's definitely A tier. I rank him above the Necromancer. He is just, you can just dodge so much. You're just going to be able to survive so much. You can dodge very dangerous abilities, and if you're like very strong, then, you know, you have the ability to kill many players, and a Scout is just strong in PvP. That's just how it is, guys. And the next class, he usually goes into like C tier or D tier when it comes to normal PvP, but not in guild battles. Jesus, it's insane what you can do. Like, if you're a quite strong necro, if you're a strong demon hunter, but even you don't even have to be that strong. You just freaking revive, and then you have like, it's like you have two characters. it's absolutely outrageous how strong a demon hunter can become in guild fights. I have seen this on EU21 with my character. If I don't revive, that's, yeah, it sucks, but it's still okay-ish. Especially if the character is stronger than the opponents you're fighting. But if you revive, oh my god, you have like double the value, especially if you are like the carry or the strongest character in your guild and you get like 1 or 2 revives. It's like, it's double or triple you, which is just, it's insane. It's such a big guild fight value. I don't even know. These 3 I think are interchangeable. Let me, just for the rage bait, put him at the top of S tier, because seriously, he's just, bro, I would almost say it's like that, almost, maybe like this, because of the class bonus. All right, next up is the Druid, and I think the Druid is good. He is definitely good. He depends on dodging and then making that big hit. He has a lot of HP, low base damage. I wonder if he's high B or low A tier. I'm just going to put him into high B tier because he also, yes, you do have that one-shot potential. It can be dodged, just like, yes, the Necro, but then as a Druid, man, it's just so frustrating. You need to get that 35% dodge, and then you have to hit that hit, and then it has to crit, and only then you really have like lots of value in that battle, right? So I think he's slightly better than the Warrior and Bard, but he isn't really A tier. And the Paladin, in my opinion, also a S tier in guild fights. It's just so dumb. You keep healing and you can just tank so much, and just the ability to heal is insane. It's also almost like it's W, because W, like it's kind of, sometimes it's like 1 Paladin equals like 2 Warriors, because you heal, and especially if you heal against like a Hound, for example, or like a big crit, then Jesus, you just restore so much HP, and you go into the next, and you enter that next combat with like more HP than you used to have. It's just so strong, and I believe he definitely belongs into S tier. I don't know, he's interchangeable with the Berserker in my opinion. Let's just put him, let's put him here. That should be fine. And last but not least, we have the Assassin. And with the Assassin, I think we have a special case. I'm going to leave him in A tier, I think, because he doesn't do anything different than the Scout, particularly in guild fights. Because the thing is, if you last hit someone with your first hit, then the second hit doesn't transfer to the next person, right? So, but you only need 1 hit in some scenarios, but sometimes you need 2, and it's really a weird case. I'm going to leave him behind the Scout for guild fights, because the Scout crits can become really crazy, and with the Assassin you would need 2 of them, and guild fights are about like sometimes the big hits, but not just that, because if it wasn't, then the Bard would be higher. But I think the Bard has the problem of tanking everything and having such low HP. I think, and I hope that that makes sense. And there is no C and D tier, because Shakes and Fidget turns out to be quite balanced, right? I think there isn't really a bad character for guild fights. I just think there are some that are like, you know, that perform like average. I mean, you could do this, but then I don't want to discredit the Bard, who can really do big hits and turn the tides of the battle as well. Like, every character can do that, but the S tier characters, they have like, they're either so solid, or they have like crazy ways to just turn the tides of the battle. And the characters in A and B tier, they don't have that big potential, right? Or they are not that solid. I hope that tier list made sense to you. If you have a different opinion about like a certain class, then please leave a comment, and I see you guys in the next one.